welcome. So glad to have you here at Unity Bay Area Houston this morning, and delighted to have those that are joining us online now or at some future moment. And wherever you are, may you just feel the power of this moment in time. Is my mic not working right? Hello, testing, testing. Maybe it just needs to go up. Okay, let's try this one over here. It's still not very loud. I don't know. Okay, is that working? Yes. Okay, good. All right, we'll do that instead of this then. I'll give this back to Ellen. Thank you, Ellen. So we are grateful. Grateful, grateful. Can you feel the gratitude? Isn't this a time of gratitude when we start to feel a little bit of a shift in weather? Well, kind of. You know, we're in Texas. What can we say? But at the same time, we just start to feel an upwelling of gratitude for our lives and for one another in this time of year, in the harvest season. And so this is a very powerful time to be alive on this planet. And a lot of people are feeling both the angst, but then they're starting to feel a releases at many levels. I'm talking to many people who are experiencing that right now. Inner release. So just allow when that shows up for you to let it go. And we are clearing many, many layers and levels of things in our consciousness so that we can be free and be in the whole truth of our divine light. And that's everything to do with what we're up to in Unity. You know, we are that positive, practical, progressive, I'll get the word out, approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of prayer. And I love this idea because the difference between between what others do in many cases is they're about worshiping the man. We're about our understanding him as our way shower and teacher and guide to how to live our own lives in powerful ways. And we're grateful for that because that Christ light is within each and every one of us. And we honor that universal truth that is taught in every practice and every religion out there, and that you have the choice to make of where you worship. And we're so grateful that you're here with us today. And those of you joining us, I know that we always have those numbers increase throughout the week. So it's great fun to watch. All right, so thank you all. And let's begin with our affirmation today. This is a big one. All right, everybody take a breath. Forgiveness is my path to peace. Let's repeat that 3 times. Forgiveness is my path to peace. Forgiveness is my path to peace. That's a powerful one, and we're going to also look at it in the Espanol. El perdón es mi camino hacia la paz. Together, el perdón es mi camino hacia la paz. Yeah, so knowing that our forgiveness, and that begins where? Self-forgiveness, right? If you have anything you're still holding on to, let it go. Just let it out with the singing this morning. All right, let's rise and open up with Ellen and Art today. God is.
Good morning. In the morning when I rise, and before I close my eyes, anytime I'm in despair, I just say this little prayer. God's light surrounds us, God's love enfolds us, God's power protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever I am, God is. When the cold wind starts to blow and they beat upon your door, every night will have its dawn. Hold this thought as you go on. Let's do it. God's light surrounds us, God's love enfolds us, God's power protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever I am, God is. their spirit call. It's a small world after all, bound together in and through this one common simple truth. God's light surrounds us, God's love enfolds us, God's power protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever we are, God is.
Woohoo, that one's so fun. I love the call and response. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad you've joined us today. I'm Sue's reader, and we're going to begin our service together as we affirm our statement of truth. There is one power in the universe and in me, God the good omnipotence. Prayer is the core practice that Unity teaches. It's our constant connection to divinity. Our prayer chaplains pray for your requests for 30 days and are sent to Silent Unity to be prayed for at the same time, and we call that double prayer power. Yes, we do. Prayer request forms are in the foyer. Today's prayer chaplains are Dan and Lindsay Bridge and Domingo DePara. All right. After the service, you can meet Domingo near the prayer room in the back corner for one-on-one prayer, and Dan and Lindsay will lead us in a group prayer before our meditation. For our digital viewers, whether you seek peace or have gratitude to express, please click the Request Prayer button in your bulletin, or you may leave a prayer through Facebook Messenger. And let's center in on the reading of the prayer chaplain blessing for this month, followed by our opening prayer.
Oh, not the prayer chaplain blessing, sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's have our prayer with Reverend Kyra.
All right. We do that the first Sunday of the month, so. All right, we will bless and open ourselves to the divine right here and right now. So just know that you are calling in the divine blessing. We say thank you. Thank you, sweet Spirit, for being the light and the love and the life that is within us. For bringing your presence and your radiance forth so that we may shine the light of the world that we are. That we may know ourselves in our divine audacity and to claim it and to fulfill our highest purpose. And we say thank you. Thank you, Spirit, for moving in us in powerful ways that activate our faith, that open our understanding, that guide our choices, that we may live in your will, and the divine will moving through us that is always bringing us to higher and higher good and greater experiences of life, of wholeness, of peace and abundance. In every way, we open ourselves to know that we are one with all of creation here and now, that we are fulfilling this Christ consciousness, this light awareness in all that we are and all that we think and all that we say and all that we do. And we say thank you. Thank you for guiding our thoughts, guiding our words, guiding our actions, that we know the truth of who we are and are set free to live according to this highest expression. And we bless not only ourselves and one another and this community and this world, but every creature of the sea and the sky and of the land, and all of the minerals and plants and all of the beings upon this realm and all of those ancestors that have gone before us. In every way, we open ourselves to know that we are one with this infinite side of nature. And we feel the joy and the harmony and the gratitude for being here now as a part of this ascension of our planet, a part of this movement of spirit within us to bring greater joy and peace and harmony into our lives. And so we give over this time, this this field of energy, all that we are guided into in this upcoming week, we give over and surrender into your divine movement in and through and as us. We say, I choose to let love have its way in me today. And so it is. Amen. And oh, and let's send a blessing back to the kids and the teachers in the back. While you're at it, just send them some good vibes, all right? Thank you.
All right, it's announcement time, and we have 4 of them today. First of all, we have garage sale stuff going on, so that's super fun. And today is donation day. You can bring your garage sale donations into the sanctuary at noon. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday donations will be welcome from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wednesday is 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And the garage sale is in 13 days.
No, it's 6 days.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I didn't math, the math wasn't mathing, as they say. Okay, the Unity Women's Ministry is having a Victorian tea party in honor of Meals on Wheels. Wear a fancy hat and bring your own cup, saucer, and plate. That's so fun. There's a list of items being collected by Meals on Wheels for their clients this upcoming holiday season. Please RSVP by Friday, October 24th to attend. Okay, and it says, announcement number 3 mentions that our garage sale is indeed 6 days away. Join the sorting team this week. There you go. Join the sorting team this week during donation hours to get a sneak peek at all the treasures. And then you're going to know what you want. You can write it down in your little notebook. Sale day teams for October 25th are cashiers, translators, movers, and shakers. Time slots are available from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and the sale time is, it says 8 p.m. to 1 p.m., but I don't think that's right. It must be 8 a.m. That would be a night garage sale, a night market. 3 Trees will offer a sound healing experience on Sunday, October 26th, to help us recover from the garage sale. He will also do private sessions on Monday, October 27th, by appointment. And now, please join me for our vision, mission, values, and affirmation. Our vision is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is to inspire minds, awaken hearts, and empower lives through the teachings of Jesus Christ and other expressions of universal truth. In all that we are and all that we live, we value unconditional love, connection, authenticity, inclusivity, trust, and compassion. We are living relevant spirituality now.
Please rise.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My fabulous, my fabulous, my fabulous life. My fabulous, my fabulous, my fabulous life. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for this church, Spirit. Thank you for this church. Thank you for this church, Spirit. Thank you for this church. This loving church. This loving church. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing, day. This healing day. This healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing day.
Thanks, Alan and Art. Welcome again, everybody, and thank you for being here and sharing your unique energy with us today. The Unity women will gather gifts and personal care items for the clients of Meals on Wheels until November 4th. Please grab a list and share your spirit this season. The lists are in the back of the sanctuary here. And I have a test question for you. By a show of hands, who has ever participated in an elder care supply drive? That's a good number of people. Awesome. That was easy. Now, if you're here for the very first time, please raise your hand so we may welcome you. Have anybody new? Woohoo! Awesome. It's good to see you. Together, let's share our welcoming blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. And I don't know if you got a heart sticker. You did get a heart sticker. It just blends in so well with your dress. And we have a brochure that you can fill it out. And if you didn't get one, an usher will bring you one. And what you do is fill it out, and then you can visit our welcome table in the back over here and choose a welcoming gift after the service. And our first-time online viewers may contact us through Messenger or our Facebook page and also choose a special gift. We love to connect you to our many events and show you what we mean when we say, we are living relevant spirituality now. And now let's center inward for a reading of today's Unity Daily Word. Unless anyone else wants to come up and read it? Anybody? Okay, it'll be me then. Today's daily word is worthy, and the affirmation is, all people are worthy as children of God. This was actually last week's. Let's see, should we reread? Or I also have it on my phone, so I can get the one from this week.
That'd be great. Thank you. Did it not get printed? It may not have.
Okay, because we know today's word is forgiveness. And the affirmation is, forgiveness is my path to peace. Occasionally, I may decide that a transgression or mistake is simply unforgivable. However, when I maintain a spiritual perspective, I realize forgiveness is key to moving on from painful interactions and is an important part of my spiritual path. Releasing unforgiveness may be one of the hardest things I will do, but I trust there will be peace in my heart and clarity in my mind when I do it. Whether I struggle to forgive another or myself, I trust there is no judgment or condemnation in spirit. Whatever the error, the divine presence within can help me transcend it. There is no pain, no hurt that is greater or more enduring than God. This is the comfort and promise that helps me forgive and know lasting peace. And our Bible verse today is, do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. And that's Luke chapter 6, verse 37.
Okay, we're going to do the group prayer today. Been a little while since we've been up here. What's your name, young lady?
Lindsay Bridge.
Lindsay Bridge, and I'm Dan Bridge. And Lindsay is going to kind of give us a reading here. You want
Pray before God's presence.
Pray for God's presence. Good job. You know, this place is so filled with God's presence, we need to put a sign outside and charge admission. Good Lord. Anyway, we're going to pray about 30 seconds. You know, we all pray differently. It's all got the same goal, presence of God. Some of you may pray gently with words. Some of you may, not too loud now. Some of you may pray silently with words. Some of you may do yoga or meditation, and you've got your way to go within and pray. But we're going to take about 30 seconds, and everybody's got a reason to pray. Could be local, could be global, could be anything. The whole idea is to bring God, the awareness of God, into this situation that you're concerned with. Let's start now. Okay.
Pray.
Oh, you always forget that.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Lindsay. So grateful to have you both here praying with us, and all of you for lifting those prayers. And so let's take a moment to move into meditation right now, into a deeper space as we open to this spirit of divine audacity, this series that we're working with. And today with faith, will, and understanding. I'd like you to breathe into this holy moment. Just take in a breath and let it go. With each inhale, draw in the light of spirit. The radiance lives within you. And with each exhale, release every distraction, every concern, every plan. And if you're willing, just gently close your eyes and let this be an inner journey into the sacred spaces within, where you know that you touch into that true essence and presence that you are. That one divine light that is the truth of each and every one of us. Feel yourself centered in the quiet strength of being. And from that stillness, let us awaken the three lights of divine audacity within us. Faith. We awaken the faith that sees beyond appearances. And we allow the light of faith to guide and nurture us. In the inner vision of faith, we remember we are one with this infinite source. Good is unfolding and all is well. As we do, a deep trust arises within us. Feel the power of that trust. Not blind trust, but illuminated trust. And we feel this as a power that is moving, a light that is expanding our consciousness here and now. I see with faith. I behold divine possibility in every circumstance. And so I quiet and move even deeper into my being. We're understanding, the power that knows, that experiences those aha moments, moves in, and I feel the aha of awareness of the spirit of truth, the spirit of life and love that is alive in me right now. And I understand that I am more than I have understood myself to be. That all is here and now, more than what we see, but we experience with our understanding and comprehension. And in the heart mind of understanding, we perceive truth. Beyond opinion or logic, there's an inner knowing. The Christ mind discerning rightly. Feel the power of that light of understanding. Understanding the vibration and the frequency of the divine light that you are. Understanding that there is more to be healed, more to be revealed, more to live forth in grace and glory. I understand with the clarity of spirit. I am guided by divine wisdom. Feel that settle into the bones and the marrow of the bones and into the energetic field, the quantum field in which we live. And we open ourselves to the light of will, a divine will that moves through us, always bringing forth greater good. In this, we align our choices. We release resistance, and we surrender control. We move in harmony with love and allow the divine to move through and create the ease and grace and fulfillment in our lives. And as we take these three lights, the first of the three we'll work with, we open ourselves to feel and know their mighty presence as powers within us, spiritual powers and spiritual light. And we settle into the quiet to experience and know even more the divine presence that is alive in us as faith and understanding and will. And we feel a deep peace as we settle into the silence. From this sacred place of awareness, we allow the light of Christ to shine in through us, to lift and nurture and fulfill the highest good within us. Faith opens the way, understanding illumines the path, and will moves us forward in grace. And we are grateful. We are grateful to be one with this presence and all of the many ways it expresses in our lives and in our world. We say, thank you, God. Thank you, infinite source, creative energy of the universe. And so it is. Amen. Yes. We come together to speak these words of our Lord's Prayer from an Aramaic translation. Beloved oneness, breathing life of all, holy is our essence. Create your reign of unity now. Your one desire acts with ours and vibrates light to form. Fulfill this day all need for bread and insight. Forgiveness releases us, and we remember wholeness. We are free from inner and outer deception and walk your path with joy. You are the power of these truths and unite my words, thoughts, feelings, and actions through this prayer. In gratitude, my heart knows it is so. Amen. And yes.
I close my eyes, I open my heart, I take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in. I feel the beat that's calling, calling, calling us to rise up, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me. I ready my soul, I clear my mind. I'm here and now, in the present time. I feel the power of 1,000 suns rising out the darkness. We rise as one, oh, rise, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me, rise, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise as me. I sing to you, you sing to me, changing up the noise and make sweet harmony. Come on and rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me, rise, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me. Heart to heart, hand in hand, no turning back, onward to promised land. Do you feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the darkness? We rise as one. Love is calling, 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 calling out your name. Love's calling, 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 calling. That's why you came. Love's calling, 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 calling out your name. Love's calling, 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 calling. That's why we came. So rise, rise, Spirit, rise up, rise in me, rise, rise,
Fabulous. Well, we are on this great material from Linda Martella Whitsitt called Divine Audacity. And we got you a special price on the book. If you want to get it at the bookstore, it's $20 even. That counts the tax. So love to have you explore and go into the depth of this as well as what we're presenting here. And there's a couple ways to do that, both through the book material, but also to get involved in a spirit group. How many of you had your first spirit group this week? Several of you did. And I know that I saw some hands even back there. Yeah. And one of the things that's very powerful when you start take these spiritual principles that you're studying and work them with others, talk about them, experience how is this living in me and how is this living in you. And as a result, we gain and grow and expand from each other's perception and what each other has to share about what's happening in the journey. So there's still time to shine up. You can still shine up all the time, and you can sign up this week still to join a spirit group. So I love how Spirit has so much fun with us, doesn't it? You know, it brings these words out. So this series, we're in week 2. We initiated this last week to kind of bring the idea that divine audacity, if you'll do that next slide, is fearless overcoming of only human tendencies in order to do or say the right thing, which unifies, harmonizes, strengthens, or uplifts. With divine audacity, you dare to be the light of the world. Whew, everybody breathe. Are you willing to be divinely audacious because that light within you wants to come forth, wants to be expressed? And that's what we're doing, is activating throughout this series the various ways those spiritual powers or spiritual lights within us are calling us to activate a deeper understanding of these principles that we live by and teach in the unity perception. And as we do that, we are really understanding that we are setting free our capacity to be more spiritually powerful in every area of our life. All right? Because what we really want is to feel and know that presence of God and walk through the world with that assurance in our journey. Because there's so much that's out there in the world right now that feels shaky. Anybody notice that there's things that are they're not what they used to be, and we're not sure what's true and what's not anymore? And those of us that think they know get caught into others that think they know differently, right? And so what we learn is that we get to have this capacity of how do I open up to a deeper spiritual awareness to bring divine light, divine presence into those circumstances, situations in my life, in my own mind, etc. So this week we're working with the first 3 of this series, and I love this statement of, I live by faith, I understand by spirit, and I choose by divine will. So as we are opening to these first 3 spiritual lights or spiritual powers of faith, understanding, and will today, we're beginning to recognize that these are core parts of our having a foundation from which we operate. I mean, the greatest foundation is our spiritual light, the fact that we are part of a divine presence. We are sharing the light of the world by the light of the divine that is within us. And when we recognize we are that, then we begin to operate differently. But then things happen and we get shaken, right? Anybody find that sometimes something happens in your life and it shakes you up, right? We all have had this, every single one of us. Whether it's health, whether it's loss of loved ones, whether it's financial challenges, relationship, it's in every area we have places where we have an opportunity to decide where do we place our faith. We place faith. We use faith. We use faith and we light up some area with faith. But the question is, what are we putting our faith in? And where is that light of faith within us? How deeply does it go? You know, part of what we're up to in this is that Linda Martella Whitsitt, who wrote this book, did a beautiful job of taking each of these spiritual powers and starting to understand, to break them down into what are the components of that spiritual power so that we can truly get clarity in our understanding of it and begin to move us to a new way. Because a lot of times faith is always understood as, the assurance of things hoped for, the assurance of things not seen. And so we know it's not the seen, it's about something beyond the seen world, something more. But she takes it and puts it into 3 key areas. So the first one that she talks about is perception. Is seeing the invisible and perceiving divine possibility, seeing the divine in the midst of every situation. So when our perception, so faith requires us to have a perception of the divine, a perception of something greater that is at work in our lives and is operating from within us and through us and as us. So if I have the light of faith in me, I'm choosing to perceive from a place of faith that takes me not only to what is visible out here, but actually what is not seen, but I can know when I begin to light up myself with the divine light, with the divine awareness. And so if I have a perception from a place of faith, I'm not immediately going to the worst case scenario, in a situation. Oh, ain't it awful? Da 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 da. And we laundry list all the things that could go wrong in a situation or a circumstance. Or maybe all the things that are wrong with us or are wrong with that other person, right? Where faith has a different perception entirely. It doesn't perceive things based upon the world out here. It perceives according to a higher awareness that God is in the midst of this. There is a divine idea that is expressing here, and I have the confidence and the faith to know that it's going to reveal itself even if it's not yet. All right? So not only do we have that perception of something divine happening here in the midst of the circumstance, there's something divine for me to see, to understand. But then on top of that, then we move into the light of the second one, conviction. So I have a conviction in that faith. So what does conviction mean? I have a sense of assurity, confidence. I have a certainty that I am not going to waver from just because circumstances don't necessarily demonstrate it in this moment. Do I believe in the divine life that is in my body and its ability to be in wholeness and health? Or do I buy into whatever the world would tell me in a moment, even if things don't look good, right, in that moment? Do I believe, conviction, not even a belief, it's a conviction. It's more than even just a belief, but I'm so convicted in it that you cannot waver me from that. My faith is that strong. And then I have an expectancy. See, the third part of faith is I hold an expectancy of good because I am trusting and believing and have faith that the universe is always moving things to greater good, always bringing forth more of itself into every experience and expression. So when I have that, then I begin to understand, I open this trusting, kind of this place with myself that says, I trust what's unfolding even when it's not visible what I'm having my faith in. Because what I have faith in is not in how you show up, not in what happens out here. It's in something much higher and much more expansive and omnidimensional or multidimensional than just what we see in this third dimensional realm. And as a result, we do what was taught in the scriptures in Corinthians 5:7, I walk by faith, not by sight. I walk by faith, not by sight. That's that thing, I've said this before, and I always love this little idea, is that my faith means I have faith in the bird that has faith in its wings, not in the branch that it sits on. So no matter what, it's going to fly. It's going to be okay, carried above the circumstances and situations. So where do I get caught up in my senses and the reports of the world, and I start to give it power, and in that moment, I diminish my faith in something greater happening here. What is it that's really happening? And do I begin to open to that? Because my faith will take me to a different place. Think about this week where you can lean into faith in a new way that will strengthen you in bringing forth harmony and light into the world in the things you think and the things you say and the things you do. Now, the second one of these, under this first lights, is understanding. Because when we start to build this faith in the unseen, in that which is out here, then there are places where we begin to grasp a new awareness. We have an aha, right? We have comprehension. Things start to come together. Have you had those cases where you've got a puzzle in front of you? And have you ever had one where you didn't have the picture? Anybody put a puzzle together where you didn't have the picture? It's a fun challenge just to see what happens, because we're so used to looking at something and seeing what it is, and then we go try to put the pieces together. But often in life, we're not given the picture, are we? We're not given the full picture in advance. That's part of the faith in something unseen. But in that process, then what happens, we still have a moment when all of a sudden we're putting things, we're moving it around, and all of a sudden there's a comprehension moment. Whoo! All of a sudden I have a new awareness. I have a spiritual truth that comes into my soul, and I begin to understand something that I didn't previously understand. Maybe about myself, maybe about life. Maybe about the way the divine is operating and revealing itself to me that I hadn't been aware of before. I start looking for the signs of the divine in a way that brings me those understanding. I'm looking to have that understanding. There's something about that. We become a seeker in that, right? And then when we're seeking like that, we're having this comprehension of something else is going on here. There's something more. Then all of a sudden we get a realization. All of a sudden we'll have an aha of spirit being present in the midst of something that we didn't see spirit in, right? But when we seek and we start to comprehend that, I know spirit's here, I have the faith to know spirit's here, and now I have the understanding that spirit here, then I begin to start seeing what I have looked for. I start to have the awareness and the comprehension and the realization of it. And from that realization, in this divine light of understanding, the spiritual power comes in as this comprehension. It comes in as this aha moment. It has this clarity that kind of it's like a clarion bell, and all of a sudden you go, oh, I get it. Anybody had those moments in your life? Everybody has had those moments in their life, right? And what that leads to is insight, because now I begin to have an insight, an intuitive guidance, and a knowing that is taking me to a different place than where I might have gone, the trajectory I was on based upon just the outer world. But if I'm based on a trajectory that is guided by my inner awareness, by my insight, by my realization of truth, by the light of my being, then all of a sudden it will take me on a different path in a different way than I may have expected. And as a result, I begin this understanding that I am on a journey that is unfolding perfectly, that is divinely inspired, that as I have faith in that and I move into understanding that that's what's happening here, I begin to find answers in the midst of circumstances where I didn't see them before. Solutions to situations or problems arise. Awareness of how to be at peace in myself happens. So as we move on, I love this quote from Proverbs that says, "Let the wise hear and increase in learning." Jesus often said, "Let those who have ears to hear the message." The message is in that deeper aha and realization within us. And so when we open to that, we begin to gain a new awareness. So as we move into the third light we're working with today is will. So as we get understanding, we get to then start to notice that in that process, we have choice. Anybody notice when you get up to that place of understanding, you get choice to accept that understanding, reject that understanding, to believe in the power of the divine that's not necessarily showing up as physical yet, and yet you feel it, you know it, that presence that is within you that's guiding you. So will is this place where we first of all identify choice. All right? This is where we come to choice. And we begin to recognize that it's a spiritual decision to decide, am I going to choose to align with a higher spirit of truth in the midst of a circumstance? And what, again, am I having faith with in, and now I get to choose it, right? I can see it, but that doesn't necessarily mean I choose it. Anybody done that? You see what you need to do differently, but you don't choose it? Yeah, that ice cream calls. Yeah. And whatever it might be. That's a silly one. But the truth is that we are beings of choice. We're in a free will zone. And when we have, and the will is a very, very powerful thing, because most of us developed a willfulness. We were full of our own will. We were taught to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, to go make it happen. It's going to happen, it's up to me. If it's going to be, it's up to me. You know, you think about the things we were taught. And they were taught to develop a strong will. And I think that's a great thing in our world, because it gives us the strength to then choose to turn our will into a commitment to something higher. Now I get to choose to make a commitment. A commitment means I'm choosing to choose the spiritual awareness and the spiritual comprehension in all things. And when I make that commitment, it's 100%. It's not, oh, I'll do it today and not tomorrow. I'll do it in this circumstance and not in that one. I'll do it when it feels easy. Because when it's hard is when we're really called to call on our commitment to carry through what we agreed to with ourselves and our divine awareness. I love this idea because we were talking about this, and I think I've said something about it in here, but I know on Tuesday morning group, we were talking about working with AI. And, you know, the big thing now are I use ChatGPT, I've tried Claude, I've tried, Grok, different ones, to get a sense of what they're up to and what are we really doing with it. And there are people that are, oh, no, we don't want to use the AI. And yet, what I would say is I have a commitment to the fact that AI is in our world. So how am I going to show up with it? And how do I make a commitment to my divine awareness in the midst of using technology, right? In the midst of that. This is change we're in the midst of. And as a result, I realized that my commitment is to absolutely, my communications with AI have a spiritual bent to them. I was asking about a disease that I heard about. Somebody has this disease, and I wanted to know more about it. And I said, tell me about that disease. And so it's given me all the information about it. But then it says to me, because of my previous prompts to AI, it says, oh, do you want the metaphysical meaning of that? I said, of course I do. So the truth is, our commitment, when we are committed to having a will of choosing the divine awareness in everything, so what I found is I learned to give more universal prompts to my AI, for example. Or I need you to always give me the spiritual perspective. I need you to always bring forth this, whatever it might be. I speak to my universal spirit that way. So my willfulness, when because it can get in the way. Have you noticed? When you're willful about something, it can get in the way. But what I do is I say always, I will always want to know what the spiritual perspective is in my life. And I always want to become willing. The greatest gift we can give ourselves is to become willing to surrender control. Everybody breathe. That's a hard one. Surrendering control, but surrendering to the divine in us, to something higher that is moving through. So when we start looking at what it means to be aligned with the will, I want to always choose the will of the infinite side of my nature that knows far more than what my mind can comprehend. See, I want to grasp it with, I want to choose, but my choice is, do I align with something greater, something bigger? Do I agree with that? And I have a commitment to fulfill that and stay in that flow regardless of what's showing up on a moment basis. You know, it doesn't mean we won't wrestle with it at a moment. It doesn't mean that. Even Jesus wrestled in the Garden of Gethsemane. And, he was like, if you could take this from me, because I'm not liking it right now, right? I don't like this path. But then he came to himself and said, not my will, but thine be done. I don't really want what I think I want. I want what is the highest and greatest good and the highest and greatest expression. And when I become willing, when I move into the place of having faith that something greater is happening, and I see beyond what the illusion would teach me. And then I have from there an aha, an understanding that something is happening here. And even when I don't see, I know it, I feel it. There's something that is moving in me. And it's starting to say, all right, sometimes understanding comes in little bits, and sometimes it's a bap on the head, and you said, the light went on, right? And then I am willing to surrender into that greater good. I have a will that aligns itself with something bigger. And as a result, I begin to light up from the inside out. And I begin to show that, I'm not resistant to life. I am a light in this world because I am flowing with that divine awareness. These are divine lights within each of you, and when you activate them into this higher perception, all of you begins to vibrate at a higher level. It means it will shake off the dross. It will shake out the old beliefs that don't serve in the new awareness. Because as you activate these spiritual lights, it means that you let go of old beliefs and understandings that no longer serve you and expand into the light of your being. See, this is where divine audacity. I have to be audacious enough to be willing to let the divine be in charge of my life. To know that the divine is in charge of everything, that is all there is, and there is one of us here, and we're each expressing in our individual, unique way that divine awareness. And so I'm willing to let my light shine, because my light is part of that divine light. And are you willing to be audacious and let your light shine? That's what this series is all about. And it is bringing us into a higher level of expression and realization and changing the trajectory of our whole earth consciousness. Because as any one of us rises in our consciousness, rises in our vibration and frequency, we cannot help but affect the whole. All right, that's our first week, just the first 3 of our 12 spiritual lights. Woo! All right, my audacious friends, one of the things we're up to in this Divine Audacity series, and I want my 3 artists to kind of bring yourselves up this direction, all right, is that each week we are revealing art that has been created by our congregational members that will be auctioned off at the end of this series, and we're going to reveal each of them, and each have kind of looked at the different powers and ways that we're looking at this. So the first one we're going to bring up today is Geraldine, and I know she's working her way up here, and let me tell you a little bit about Geraldine first of all. Geraldine loves color and expresses her feelings through distinctive color combinations and styles. Whether she works with acrylics and oil, she is inspired by nature, creating abstract landscapes that feature flowers, birds, and her surroundings. The joy she feels is evident to all who observe her paintings. Now, she is available to paint acrylics, oil abstracts, and abstract landscapes by commission. She has actually received honors for her work that she's done at the College of the Mainland. She received an honorable mention in the National Society of Arts. She's received a first, second, and third, an honorable mention, and a first and second in different years. And she's received from the Baytown Art League, the Galveston Art League, from the Texas City Art Festival, the League City Art Festival, and the Lone Star Art Guild. So let's say thank you to Geraldine Travers, who has created this incredible piece of art dedicated to the idea of faith. Geraldine, if you would rather stay down there or you want to come up here? I can hand you the mic. How about that? Would that work? Okay. Then you can stay. You don't have to come up on the stairs. But then why don't you tell us a little about what you want to share, and then we'll reveal your art piece.
Okay. My art piece is about color. I love blue, and I made a painting of the cross. We all know what happened on the cross. So on faith blesses my day. I envision good unfolding in every area of my life. And Jesus said, I am with you always, even to the end of the earth.
Oh, that's beautiful, Geraldine. Thank you so much. Shall we reveal your art piece? I didn't have good stands for everybody, but we'll hold it up. What's happening today, we're going to reveal it. Normally we would put it up on the walls, but because of the garage sale, we're going to keep it out until after the garage sale. Then we'll get it all out and back up where we can see it all. But let me hold this up so everybody can see this beautiful piece of art that Geraldine has created for us. And she and I are wearing blue in honor of faith today, which there are actually colors that go with each of the 12 powers, and so our artists have looked at that as well. So that's the first of our art pieces. Thank you, Geraldine. We're so grateful. Put that one right there for now. All right, second, Susan Devine Napoli. Come on up, Susan. So have we got a treat for you. Susan, come on up. And Susan does wearable art, as well as she is an author, a very prolific author. And I'm going to just tell you a little bit about her. Susan has been self-publishing since Christmas of 1980, making art for sale since 2014, making altered couture, I don't know how to say the word, couture clothing since 2016. And her current favorite book sales include books on altered couture sewing, family history, DNA, and her teaching career. Other sales include jackets, tops, and vintage items for the home. And she keeps several projects going at the same time to avoid creative blocks. All right, she uses print-on-demand platforms for ease of distribution and bookkeeping. And the Golden Moments package is what is going to be presented here today. And this is what she says in here, has a book proof for the first, so here's the Golden Moments package. So her light or her power she's working with is understanding, and its color is gold. Is that perfect or what to start with? So this is a whole package of things here, and I'm going to set it down so I can open it up for us. So it's the first and only before release later in 2025. It's bound notes, a jacket with mistake scraps. I love that. The jacket is hand dyed in brown, has fabric from a pillow sham and trim, and acrylic paint pens and glued on rhinestones complete the wearable art look. So do you want to tell us what you want to say while I start pulling all this out? So she has a scrapbook of her process. She has a book that she has written about what she's learned in this process and published. It's called Golden Moments, Another Look at My Spiritual Quest. And she has, okay, this is the the scraps and all the information on it. And this is her scrapbook of her process. And this is the wearable art that she's created. Ooh. I think, I think I have to model it.
Yeah. She's tried it on already.
All right, Susan. What would you like to say?
My word was understanding, and this is a visual reminder. See, because it has the little pathway on there, that the spiritual moments aren't all the time. They're just intermittent throughout my life, and some of those are in the book. The jacket is the color ochre. As I was learning to do art, that's the color I hated. And so I ended up needing paint for a wall that was approximately this light beige color. And I went to get the paint chip, and at the very bottom of it was ochre. And I realized my favorite color was a very, very, very light ochre. And so I decided to make peace with it and make this jacket for y'all.
I love that. It's a spiritual path and a quest for you. And
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, very beautiful. And so the book, she's really worked hard to get it to us in time. And so I think we've got, this is going to be all together as a one piece that we auction off at the end as well. You might have to fight me for it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. We're so grateful for all your creativity. And if that's not enough, we've got one more reveal today. And Dan Bridge, come on up. Dan is a very prolific painter. Oops, I'll get all that back here. Is very prolific in his paintings. Thank you. I'll get that book over there. Okay, so let me tell you about Dan Bridge, first of all. Dr. Dan Bridge has been selling paintings for over 10 years. He began painting after spending a career investigating contamination sites and testifying as a court expert. He has taught courses on silent prayer and self-improvement to inmates at a prison near Houston, Texas. And he's published 4 books on spiritual matters, the most popular of which is The Healing House, which I'll tell you I highly recommend. And all of his books are available on Amazon.com. He currently serves as a prayer chaplain at Unity Bay Area Houston Church in League City, Texas, and his artwork can be viewed on the Fine Arts America website under Dan Bridge Art. And I want to say, and we're going to have a blessing during this time that also includes Lindsay in some of this art, but today's art reveals actually are all Dan's. What do you want to tell us, Dan?
If you get a piece of art from me, I paint in layers. What I like about doing art versus writing, when you screw up the first layer, you can put another layer over it. And I'll guarantee you, every painting I've done, you're going to have about 3 layers under it that are failed paintings. Because usually my wife, she says, oh, my Lord, she says, I wouldn't post that for nothing. And finally I get one that's halfway decent. She goes, okay.
And so we are putting his under the capacity of will. And we have 3 paintings this week. And this one is called Nebula, Spirit Smiling. This one is called Nebula Swimmer. Make sure not to put that on top of each other. And this one is called Nebula Spirit Rising. Dan is very prolific. You're going to see him back up here. He's brought in 9 paintings, and he and Lindsay did 2 collages. So we'll have more from him at a later date. But we are so grateful of bringing your spirit to light in your art, like each of these beautiful artists. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you so much. So we're going to have a lot of fun displaying these, and as we work with them later when we do the auction, each one will have different starting prices. So there's going to be something in everybody's price range. And so it's going to be lovely what we've got, because we've got amazing, amazing more to come. Well, and we are grateful. So at this time, isn't that fun to reveal all this art? Ooh, I've been so excited. All right, so before we begin right now, we're going to take our offering up, and then we'll move into music. And we want to always acknowledge that we are grateful for every gift, for every giver, for all the ways that we have moved forward, and we are grateful for those gifts that are helping us get sustained support for this ministry. Your previous gifts to the Burn the Mortgage have already gone out and paid a year of mortgage payments in advance, as well as on this zero interest loan. So thank you. We are grateful for that. And we are also knowing that all your gifts help us sustain our daily electricity, and they pay me and Ellen and Wendy and Remy. And we are grateful for every gift, because it truly allows us to be here and do what we do. All right, let's take our gifts in our hands, and together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is.
Together we take a stand for love. Together we make a change for good. Together we break the chains of sorrow. Together we live the truth. Together we raise our voice for peace. Together we sing and jump for joy. Together we move, we groove, and we dance. Together we live the truth. In every part of me, there's a part of you. Oh yeah, all right. When I am loving me, I am loving you. Oh yeah, all right. Today we live in truth, and the future's bright. Oh, oh, we oh. Together we walk our talk with spirit. Together we boldly shape our dreams. Together we share a life of freedom. Together we live the truth. In every part of me, there's a part of you. Oh yeah, all right. When I am loving me, I am loving you. Oh yeah, all right. Today we live in truth, and the future's bright. We free ourselves, we free our light, we free our truth, and the future is so bright. Together we take a stand for love. Together we make a change for Together we break the chains of sorrow. Together we live in truth. Oh, together we live in truth.
All right, let's take our offerings and our prayers in hand, and on all those that are in our hearts and souls as well, and let's share together our blessing. We celebrate divine abundance. We gratefully live, breathe, and experience abundance and generosity. Thank you, God, for the flow of resources through our ministry to bless the world. We rejoice as all our prayers are answered. We are grateful, blessed, and prosperous. Yes, we are. And before we close with our, is this October Baby Month Day? You're not on there, are ya?
Somebody go
What's your day? What's your
holler
day?
for Remy. When's your birthday, Aurelia? The 24th.
24th. All right, we'll get you at it. All of our October babies, please rise. Oh, come on, stand up. Yeah, all of our October babies. Woo!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, October babies. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You are wonderful. God is blessing you now. And Barbara, when's your birthday? The 28th, okay.
We got to add those to our list. We got a lot of October babies. All right, we want you to share us on all the social media of your choice. Thank you for getting this word out there about unity. And we want you to know today is our garage sale day that we're starting. The whole week we'll be working garage sales. So we need your help as we close up today after we do our what are we doing? Our peace song, prayer, protection, and peace song. Then what we're going to do is we're going to ask your help to move all the chairs to the side and the front. We're going to be moving them up here and there, and we're going to get all the chairs out of the way so we can bring out the tables and start receiving and setting up for the garage sale this week. As you know, it's one of our biggest fundraisers of the year. And though I would say we have some that are also big, like the art reception and the art auction nowadays, but this is a big one and takes all hands on deck. So thank you. If you can volunteer this week, we'll be sorting and we will be pricing. And today, Darcy Truhan is in charge of the day. So if you have questions, go to Darcy. She's our key point person for today's days. Each day we're going to have a different key person in charge of the day, and you can sign up on the whiteboard out in the gathering room and see who's in charge, and we'd love to have your help. So, all right, let's join together for our prayer, protection, and our peace song to close out the day.